It's a Friday. That means we're bringing you another Sip-isode. Nice little end of the week blaster to kick you off right into the weekend. You get your dose of Ask Iliza Anything on a Wednesday, and then Friday is good vibes. You know what else is good vibes? Bud Light Seltzer Retro Summer Pack. Comes in tasty throwback flavors like summer ice, blue raspberry, cherry limeade. Remember? I mean, I don't know if we can talk about Sonic, but like that's where you get a cherry limeade. Now that I'm working more, I really do value Fridays, but like Fridays as a kid, like that feeling. Remember your mom would take you to Blockbuster?
Oh, I was a Hollywood Video, but yes.
Blockbuster, and then we would go to the grocery store and you could buy Skittles. That's what I would do. Let's get our snacks at the grocery store at Skaggs Alpha Beta in the same shopping center. And then we'd watch TGIF.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh,
it was the best.
All the good shows. Well, and then you hoped on the weekend that you saw an ice cream truck.
I never did, but yes, once in a while.
I have such a distinct memory of the ice cream truck was at the park. I didn't have any money. I was like, please wait here for me. And I ran back to my home and I ran back and the ice cream man was so uninterested. I'm like, I have $1. Can I have a popsicle? You know.
Oh, you made it back.
I made it back, but I truly think back and feel that man's annoyance.
You missed those bomb pops, I'll tell you what. Bud Light Seltzer's got those tasty flavors in icicle form now. So you're like, you know what? I'm getting tired of drinking. I want to eat my alcohol. They've got it for you in icicles, which I think is a brilliant invention. We don't have enough alcoholic frozen treats.
Yes, and I just now am seeing more of them pop up, and I'm like, everyone's behind the curve, behind Bud Light.
Move over, Froze. What is it, 4 years ago? Get out of here.
Get an icicle. I know. I pilfered some of yours.
Yeah. Thanks. You owe me. I'm docking your pay.
For the icicle.
Garnishing your wages. With a Bud Light Seltzer icicle.
It is very nostalgic because you don't see an adult eating a popsicle unless they're in some sort of like weight loss program.
It's actually unnerving to see like an adult like housing on a frozen treat.
We're going to bring it back though.
I always think about that when I see like adults in an ice cream shop. Like it's the most innocent thing you can do is go order ice cream.
Yeah.
Like vegan ice cream. No one was harmed. Just out for a nice treat with my best gal.
Your best gal. Now bring the gal home with an icicle from your own freezer.
Bring the gal home. Great branding. Bring the gal home with an icicle from your own freezer. Very good, Emily. Bring the gal home with an icicle from your own freezer.
Look, retro gal. It all goes.
Oh wow, you're a branding maven. Bring that dame home. Have her walk on those stems, those gams.
I'm just secretly constantly calling Bud Light, and I'm like, hello, I have an idea. Can we talk?
Bring the gal home. Bring her home.
We are going to flashback again, because we are still in summer, to another previous listener question, which was asked at a time strangely timed. It was May 2019, and mad_ham said, my boyfriend's family often spews misinformation about what's going on in our world. I've corrected them before and my BF says I'm causing drama. Should I just keep quiet and let them be ignorant instead? Now, I can only imagine what's happening with them over the last year.
Oh, God. Gay and COVID happened?
What's gay?
I thought it was a guy talking.
Mad Ham. I don't know.
Matt. Oh, I thought it said Matt.
No, Mad.
Don't assume that all people named Matt.
See what gender Mad Ham is.
Don't assume all Mad Hams are gendered.
Mad Ham might not be.
It doesn't matter.
What if they've deleted their Instagram? Girl.
Okay.
This question has never been more relevant.
Yeah. I think it depends on what it is they're speaking about, because some things never change unless people change. So if they have like race theory ideas, like, you know, you're not, even if you say it to them, like you're so on the right side, or, you know, homosexuality isn't a choice, like you're so on the right side. If it's about being conservative, like fiscally, like that's tough. And you want to make sure that, by the way, it's not just your point of view going up against like actual facts. Mm-hmm. That's something that's really difficult is, you know, whatever type of news you listen to, you're going to be armed with those facts. And then you run into someone that's like, actually, I read Al Jazeera, I read the Wall Street Journal, like here are the numbers, you know, it's hard to get those numbers too. So I guess it would depend on what the questions are and what kind of hill you want to die on. Nobody wants to hear a social justice warrior about everything, even if you are on the right side. Like that's how you lose allies, because it's so tiring to hear it and to just be around it, because then the person has no chill. But if they're saying things that are offensive If they're just saying like Donald Trump was a great president, fucking let it go. It doesn't matter. He's not in office anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Or like there's lizard people, like whatever.
There may be.
Whatever.
I think your point will be more impactful if you choose your battles.
Mm.
But if it's truly something you can't stomach, like good for you. So it just depends on the caliber of the wrongness, I suppose. Because you can't pick every battle.
And it's annoying that the boyfriend is like, don't cause drama. It's like, if you guys are going to be part of the same family, and maybe you've broken up by now, we don't know. But if you guys are going to be part of the same family, you can't always just keep your mouth shut because his family needs to be appeased.
You can't do that. Also, you know, maybe that's not a family that you want to marry into. And also, is he saying, I know that you're right, just don't say anything so it's easier? Or is he saying, like, shut your mouth, like, just don't cause drama, you're being annoying? Like, what's his intonation? So there's a lot to consider. There's also the version where you're like 19 and you're like bleeding heart liberal and these people have like lived a life and you're not totally right. So it really depends what part of the country you're in, whose economics you're talking about, you know, so I don't know. Chances are that maybe they're just like a little racist, a little biased, but you gotta, I don't know.
You can't spitefully be like, well, I'll just keep quiet about everything. You, like you said, you have to pick your battles.
You know, unless you're a brilliant arguer and you can say something, you know.
Some people love to argue too,
That's
though.
the other thing. So
and it's like they get a charge out of you being like, you're wrong. And they're like, I've been waiting for this.
You got to see how worth it is. And if you're truly educating them versus just like your opinion, like what are you, like I could argue being pro-choice all day, every day, armed with almost no facts. Just like from the heart. I can be like, here's just what it is versus being like 34% of whatever.
Right.
Because nobody who's pro-life has any facts. It's just like these babies.
They're like, here's a picture.
Yeah, until it's 18, then get the fuck out of my door.
Did you have those at your college?
What?
They would set up at my college just pictures of like fetuses.
No.
And they'd be like, look.
That didn't go at a very liberal film school in the heart of downtown Boston. I've seen that before, like in front of like abortion clinics and stuff.
They would set it up in the college like campus, the middle where like the common area was. And they would just set, and no one can, everybody just walks by like, okay, nobody's stopping. No college student is stopping. Like
someone must, otherwise they wouldn't do it.
I guess.
Like the guys that are just like on Hollywood Boulevard, like just like preaching about Jesus. And I'm like, they don't care what type of person they attract. It's about the numbers.
True.
It's not about quality. It's like, we'll just, because the kind of people that hang out on Hollywood Boulevard are like fully insane.
Yes.
So, you know, that's it.
And they have some big signs. Some of those people make signs and I'm like, where, when you think about like these people that stand there and spew total craziness, they had to be at home. They had to take their poster board. Yes. They like went and checked out at like wherever you get a poster board. Office Max. They take a Sharpie and they're just like, should I do block letters?
What also scares me is like, it's one thing if you're like, I love Jesus. Like, okay, I guess you're not hurting anyone. But when it's just like gay people burn in hell. I'm like, you went and bought a marker variety pack.
Yes.
And those colors were chosen by a gay guy.
And sat there and wrote it and then like stapled it onto the wood and put it in your car or your backpack and you're like, I'm ready.
Dane Cook had a bit about that so long ago, just about like the car. This was, it's Harmful to Swallow. It's like the album that everybody loved. And it was about carvings and it's about vandalizing a bathroom stall. It's like, you know, people take a Sharpie. He's like, but who's carving? Who's sitting there like, fucking Jews? Carving. The delivery is very funny.
I would have access to a knife quicker than I would have a Sharpie in a bathroom.
What?
Because I have a pocket knife on my keys.
Oh, that's right. You got a little baby pocket
I got a little knife. But I've never done a vandalism.
Mouse knife fight. Done a vandalism.
I've never done a vandalism.
That sentence completely gives it away.
Tells that I haven't.
Yes, belies your intention.
I would be so scared that there's a camera.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to, in like a combo KFC Pizza Hut, they're going to take the time to like identify you and find you.
So I can't go in there and write Taco Bell rules.
Rules. Welcome KFC rules. Let them know. Diarrhea in the carbon. Smear it in. Okay, that's gross. Why?
That's very
No,
gross.
you know what? It's okay because the majority of our listeners are nurses and they've seen diarrhea.
And they know what's going on.
You know what diarrhea looks like. It's never not funny. Diarrhea is never not funny.
It really is. I saw a tweet the other day that was like, a man ghosted me after on our first date, he had diarrhea in our apartment and I gave him Imodium. And then he ghosted me. And I was like,
You feel so bad for him.
I feel so bad, and I'm also like, why do you? If somebody came in my apartment and had diarrhea, I would try to. I would not. I'm trying not to listen.
Wait. Oh, okay. I don't think. I think she wasn't trying. I think it was that loud.
It was just. He was like, "Please, do you have anything I can take?" Like, do you think he asked for Imodium, or she heard what was happening and was like,
he was like, Imodium.
Well, she was like,
all right,
self-effacing. But I feel like the replies were like, "Of course he ghosted you. Why would you ever talk to someone again when you had diarrhea in their apartment?"
You know what? Fuck that guy. He should have been like, I know I had diarrhea. Would you like to go out again? Like, that's a bold move. Can I tell you something? Can I confide something?
Yes.
To you guys listening, I had diarrhea. I was in
your life? Yeah.
I had diarrhea recently.
Okay.
I went out to eat with my parents and their friends in Florida at like 4 p.m. I don't know if oil sometimes like just goes, I don't know if it's for other people, it just goes right through me. And
the nurses weigh in.
It was just, what?
Nurses weigh in.
Oh, I thought it was like, it's the nurse weigh in, like have some oil. Okay. And I don't know if it was like fried calamari or maybe my dish was really oily or maybe something I'd eaten before, but it was violent. No Kashi Golden Crunch. Like we're sitting in the car and I'm like, okay, I've got to poop. I'm okay. I'll just readjust where I'm sitting. You know, when you get gas and like you get like a gas contraction, then you kind of breathe through it. I'm like, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I am 38 years old and I am about to crap the back of my mom's brand new car. And like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I started sweating and I was like, oh my God, like I cannot control this. And I was like, Mom, we need to pull over. And she's like yelling at my stepdad. She's like, pull. And we were on like a residential road. And I'm like, is that weird if I knock on someone's door? And she's like, Randy, pull over. And he's like, and he kept missing the chances to make a U-turn. And like the restaurants kept getting farther and farther behind us because he just like wouldn't make a bold U-turn. And then she's like, Randy, she needs you to pull over. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. It's gonna be on my pants. And I'm like, okay, I'll just wash them when I get home. And by the grace of God, there was a lot of houses under construction. It's like on a bay, and there was a porta potty. I saw one behind a gate and he passed it. And she's like, Randy. And he's like, I can't turn around yet. And we saw another one. And I ran. Of course, I brought my phone because I knew I was going to be there. I ran to a porta potty on a construction site of someone's home. And it was so clean. And I was prepared to just like not wipe if there was no toilet paper. And there was. And it was my baptism. I emerged from that stall reborn, about a pound lighter. It was the scariest. It was a couple weeks ago.
It wasn't long ago.
I was saving it to tell you.
Have you seen the film 2 Weeks Notice?
Mm-hmm.
I asked because that is a classic scene where they're in bumper to bumper traffic in New York.
Oh, and she has to go to the bathroom.
And they have to go into a family's RV. And the whole family is like, oh my God. And she's just like going nuts in there. And Hugh Grant is like, oh, sorry,
I'm
she has a
foppish.
Spot of diarrhea, or whatever.
It is. And I have friends who have confided, like, I definitely shit my pants. Like, I don't want that to happen.
Has not happened to me yet.
Yeah, right.
Well, as a baby. Hasn't happened to me
Emily,
as an adult.
You know what nobody ever wants to hear is stories about when someone was little.
Mm-mm.
Ever. Like when I was little, I stepped on a bee. Like, okay.
I did step on a bee.
Next question. Where do you think I got it from?
I almost told you that.
Cherry limeade is the flavor I like the best from the Bud Light Seltzer Retro Summer Pack, both in icicle form and in chuggable, tasty liquid form. And I was like, whoa, because they're all tasty and fruity and nostalgia-inducing. But I think the cherry limeade one gets me because, like, I think I mentioned there was like a Sonic by my house, and we would go with my friend, my best friend, her parents drove a big blue Suburban. And this is so Texan. They were very Republican, and we would go to the middle of nowhere, like in the woods of Texas, and they would get dressed up in period costumes, like early 20th century, like end of 19th century period costumes, and they would do timed shooting events with like old Winchester rifles. And we would just sit in the back of the Suburban and drink cherry limeade, like slushies. No, I think there were like sandwiches packed, but it was like one of these like quintessential Texas memories. Like, yeah, we drive about 2 hours outside of town if they didn't go to church and I didn't go with them. And I remember cherry limeade, and the mom would always get like an extra shot of cherry. And so I think about that. I think about growing up in Texas and being hot, sitting in the back of a Suburban, looking at guns. After a year of being apart, it's time to make up for lost time. It's time to remember the good times. It's time to remember the good times while making up for the lost times and creating more good times. The perfect way to do that is with the Bud Light Seltzer Retro Summer Pack. Remember the freedom of being young? Remember being a kid? Remember the 70s before you were born? Well, some people liked it that way. Bud Light Seltzer Retro Summer Pack comes in icicles and tasty beverages. Unleash the summer in your mouth. Do it. Bring those good vibes wherever you go with Bud Light Seltzer's new tie-dye pack. Already partying? Well, you can get it delivered right to your door. Find a retailer near you at budlight.com/delivery. You can pick it up at your local neighborhood grocery, convenience, or liquor store. More diarrhea. We're back.
It's always funny. It just really is.
It's never not funny.
It's not. Although if it was happening in front of me, I'd be distraught.
Oh, God, it's so gross.
You know what's not funny?
What?
Throw up.
However, more glamorous than diarrhea.
More glamorous, but it's in every darn movie. They're like, we need a comedy beat. It's this. More movies should have diarrhea comedy beats.
I disagree. More movies should have vomit beats.
No.
Yeah, and here's why. Problem Child, they have a whole sequence where everybody throws up on a ride, and it is so stinking funny. And every time I write a script, I have a scene where someone vomits, and people always ask me to cut it. They're like, one note one time was like, there's a little too much reference to vomit. It's because people they throw up looking at throw up, but I think it's so funny. If you put like a tube, if you film someone profile and you put a tube behind them on the side, not facing the camera, you can just have like projectile vomiting or going between their fingers.
I don't like it. I really don't. God. It really upsets me.
I'm 12. Everything upsets you.
No, that's my
You know what you are? A delicate. Okay, think if they took a bear made of dough and they baked it. You're the bear before they baked it. You're a little baby dough bear, and you're very delicate, and you're very white.
Yeah, look at my skin.
You're bragging about your tan.
I got my little.
You got your COVID shot.
My little shot. I didn't pass out.
I mean, this is the bar.
I passed out the first time, so things are going great for me.
Baby dough bear hits the floor. Gentle baby.
Okay, so you know what? Retro Summer, it's out there. The packs are live for you to buy, but also we've still got tea. It's still out there as well for you to purchase.
Keep
we're going to spill the tea.
Keep going. Oh.
We're going to spill the tea with some interesting questions. Things that people sent in where I was like, ooh, that's kind of juicy. And we're going to weigh in. These are new questions that are juicy.
Spill it, girl. Spill it.
So, hi, Liza, Emily, and Snow Peach. I've got a workplace question. I work for a nonprofit organization, and we received funds to help people who lost their jobs or are in danger of losing their housing due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They apply and answer some questions to be eligible for a gift card. My director put me in charge of the program, and our staff would make referrals.
Wait, I'm sorry. People lost their house and they're just you're giving them a gift card?
Well, I've seen
So like home goods? That's mean.
No, but on the Real Housewives when Bethany was still there, she flew out like with her organization Be Strong, and they have these gift cards that have like $500 loaded onto them or whatever, and they give them to people, and they're just like Visa cards.
Okay, so for just things that you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's just now the preferred delivery method rather than like a check. It's easier for people to use.
Just more plastic, sure. Fuck the planet. Put it on a card. Yep, why not give cash? Do it on a whole card. We can throw those cards away. And the fish can eat them. Anyways, not the point.
Our coworker, who is well connected in the community, volunteered to deliver the cards to people instead of us mailing them as I had wanted to do. It's been a few months since we've been doing the program, and something felt off about the way my coworker described her, quote, system. So I looked into the card transactions and noticed a disturbing pattern of cash withdrawals. Brought up to my director, showed her the records. We were both horrified. Anyway, my director asked the coworker about it, and coworker gave an explanation. Up until now, nothing's been done except us trying to find more definitive proof. I'm so conflicted and want to report her to higher ups, but I do trust our director will do the right thing. I can't give too many more details since it's still not resolved, but I feel like this woman should have been fired by now. Should I report her to HR? What do you think?
I think your director's in on it.
It sounds shady.
I think your director's either inept. What do I always say? Either you're stupid or you're in on it.
That's
another great Robert De Niro quote, which I think I'm like mangling. It's one of the two. And you know what? You should go above her head.
Yeah.
Because either she's stupid or she's in on it.
Yeah.
And you might have to put on your detective cap ask some Reddit people, like a way to sleuth. Now, I'm interested to know what you mean by like questionable withdrawals. How that?
I'm
like,
assuming,
what that means.
in my mind, it's like usually, let's say 90% of the people who get these cards use them at like Walmart, Target, grocery store, etc. But there's like, whenever this person goes and makes their drops, suddenly 100 cards have had cash withdrawn from the same like city area. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm imagining is happening.
You might have to compile that data.
Right. Show a graph of how the cards are usually used. And this is also why, honestly, they prefer the cards over cash is so they can keep track of, it's like your reward card.
Right.
I read, you think your phone is listening to you. It's not necessarily.
I read this too.
This crazy thing about the toothpaste.
Just the way that they get, it's a whole part of marketing is like the way that they gather data. I still think it's listening because I will say a very specific sweater that I've never heard of or bought before. And it's like, here's your sweater.
It might be. I mean, and I'll find if I Google something for you on my computer, then it'll show up on my phone because my Google accounts are connected.
That's different.
But like if you and I are in the same space and I use my rewards card at Ralph's constantly to buy X, Y, and Z, you might start getting ads for those things.
Yeah, which is why you got to turn off tracking.
Yeah. So anyway, so you are tracking these cards. Put together everything mathematically that you can.
Yeah.
See if you can suss out anything else. Like
where is it? Bloomingdale's? Is it Starbucks?
Well, so I think it's cash withdrawals. Like these cards are usually just going straight person to.
I see what you're saying.
But they're going in the bag and they're like, actually, can I trade this card for cash?
That is, as kids would say, sus. Which I'm hoping stands for suspect.
Yes, suspicious.
And not like a sussapus. Which is something I made up.
Suspicious.
Oh, it's suspicious? Which is suspect. Same thing. That's very weird. I also wonder if you can compare that to data. Like last time they were used, you noticed, they were used all over the city.
Yes.
And now it's just like a lot of withdrawals on a lot of the same day. I also wonder if you'll notice that behavior stops because if your boss is in on it, she for sure tipped off her friend.
Yeah.
Go above her.
Yeah.
You work for a nonprofit. Angels like you will always get jobs. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
If has she done nothing and it continues? And it's tough because even if you turn it in, like, what are they going to do?
Well, I wonder if it's just at least a matter of, look, something is up here. Can we please be delivering these via mail to make sure that they are getting in the hands?
Mail. It's weird that she volunteered. It's weird that that's happening.
Who wants to drive all over the city dropping off one thing at each house? No one wants that.
Something's up.
Or she's fine and this was just weird. But either way, you don't have to say, like, I think my coworker is doing something bad. You just say the cards are being used in a suspicious way. We want to make sure that that the people who need them are getting them.
Yeah. Or is it a small city? Can those people come get them from the center?
I don't know. I'm wondering, it's people who might not have access to transportation, etc.
Fine. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Something's up.
Go to the HR.
And this person's obviously an idiot. They will repeat the pattern in a different way. Like it'll be like in another city, you see the cat. Like there'll be another way to track this if that's what's happening. So get up there. Get it. Don't wait.
Don't accuse anyone. Just present it as I noticed this strange pattern.
Because you know what? A man wouldn't wait to get the green light. He would just do it. Be all about action. Be about your action.
Yeah. Yeah, save those cards.
You know what? Go be that justice warrior. And then when you're done and you hang up your cape, crack open a Bud Light Seltzer retro summer pack. Enjoy it. And you know what? Dip one of those icicles in there. But it's a great way to unwind after you.
Sometimes I don't want to get out. Then I got to get out a cup. I got to get out ice. Sometimes I just want to eat the icicle by itself.
You know what? You say justice is served, and now my Bud Light Seltzer is served in great flavors like blue raspberry, cherry limeade, and summer ice. Refreshing. Get a little buzz. Be like, I did my civic duty today.
You know what's retro? Doing the right thing.
You know what's retro? Doing the right thing. Not a lot of people do that anymore. So kick back with a Bud Light Seltzer retro summer pack or the icicles. And just remember what it was like when we were kids and we all had a sense of justice before the world corrupted us. Bud Light Seltzer. And it's never been easier to get these tasty variety packs. Remember, they also make other delicious flavors. You can get it delivered to you. You can find a retailer near you at budlight.com/delivery, or you can pick it up at your local convenience store, liquor store, or grocery store.
And please, we want updates from the question askers. We want to know what's going on with that thievery.
I want to see that graph.
What's going on with that? Are you still with that boyfriend? Or have you broken up because of all the misinformation?
Yeah. This has been your Sip episode. Have a great weekend. We will see you back here Wednesday for more hot content.